Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Buyer's Remorse with Darren and Justin.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games hidden in each other's libraries, and we get that person to play the game to report back after an hour of play. Was it a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse? What game did I have you play this time?
Pixel Puzzles Undeads. Or maybe Undead Z, Undead Z. But yeah.
Okay, good. I think, if I remember correctly, there was some sort of mechanic, some sort of genre combining that made it look somewhat interesting.
Oh, is that how you would describe it?
I don't know, because
no,
I have
it's
not
exactly
played
what it
this
is.
game.
But, it's not interesting. So I switched it off as soon as I found it out and turned it off. Yeah.
Well, you've got an hour, so I hope you played it for an hour. Though your amount of notes is on a tiny, not even a full-size Post-it.
Yeah,
so.
it's on a baby Post-it. Pixel Puzzle Undeads. It's not Undeads. It's got to be Undead Z, isn't it? It's such a stupid name to start with.
Well, I can see where this is going already. You'd be much more forgiving if you loved it, so I'm going to love this episode, whereas you may not. Yes, so tell us, what kind of game is it?
It's one of those, it's a jigsaw. It's a jigsaw puzzle game. You know, Pixel is the developer and the publisher of this game, and they've done hundreds of these games, and I've got a few of them because I think probably fanatical bundles and probably free Steam giveaways, and I've got too many of these games. And yeah, it's a jigsaw puzzle, but imagine a jigsaw puzzle where they've cut all the pieces up into really weird like connections, and like it's not just like your traditional jigsaw puzzle. I don't know even how you describe like little round bits on the edge or hollowed out round bits. It's all like jagged teeth, like saw blades, or like just weird. So it's much more difficult to look at and take in. You know, it's like, well, where would this piece even go?
Do you have to rotate the pieces?
No, thank God. Oh my God, that would be so hard if you did. Because not only when you start this game, you've got a little guy in the bottom. I heard this noise and it was just like, I'm looking at the puzzle pieces because not only the way they've done it, this is so stupid as well. They've got like the puzzle pieces, but it's not just like, they're not just sitting around the board. They're all floating around and moving. So you can't look for, where's the corners? Because that's the first thing that I learned when you're doing a jigsaw puzzle is find the corners. And it's like, I can't even see the bloody corners because everything's wobbling around and moving, and they go behind each other and shit, and they disappear. And so I couldn't find all the corners, and I couldn't find all the edges. And if you find a bit and you drag it onto the board and it's like it doesn't go where you want it to go, so you can't just place it back on the edge and then be like, I'll get that bit later. Because, yeah, it's going to move around. But not only that, it vanishes completely and it spawns somewhere else. And so what I did was I swept the whole board, clicking everything just to find out where this spawn point was. And it's like over in the left corner. And if you click on everything really, really quickly and make it all vanish, then it just like spawns in this area and just like radiates outwards, and it hits the edges and it just like bounces around and fills the board again. It's what a fucking stupid mechanic. I mean, they've just done that to mess with you.
So they're basically asteroids.
Yeah. That's how they move around. Yeah, like that.
But they don't float from one side of the screen. They don't go off the left and then appear on the right side.
Oh, God, no. But they don't come onto the board, which is good. That would be an absolute nightmare. But they just kind of bounce around and eventually fill up the whole edges again and things like that. So it's like, yeah, it's awkward already. And so I hear this sound and it sounds like, I don't know, like breaking wood. And eventually I look down the bottom where there's no jigsaw pieces, there's nothing. And I see this zombie clawing at a wooden barricade, and I've got a guy down there with a gun. I was like, oh, there's something. Mm-hmm. And so you can throw grenades, you can shoot, and basically you just have to, there's like waves of zombies that will come.
I still don't quite understand this part. This is the part that I found somewhat interesting, but I don't understand it. So you're looking at a board for your jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, imagine a jigsaw on the table, and then you've got four edges around it.
And the pieces are all floating around.
Around the left side, the right side, and the top side. But on the bottom side, you've got a corridor where zombies will walk along to a wooden barricade.
Okay. And then what are you doing?
So you control a little guy with a rifle down the bottom right of the screen. And then you use the WASD keys, spacebar to shoot, Q to lob a grenade, and you just basically shoot them about 3 or 4 times, and they die. And then there's a timer. And once that timer runs down, then a bunch more zombies will come out.
Right, so you have it in waves. Does the jigsaw puzzle in some way affect that part of the game?
No, it doesn't seem like it does, because it's just on a timer, and then one will come out, and then a couple of minutes later another one will come out. And it's nothing more than an annoyance, man. That's all it is. It's just something to piss you off.
That's a shame, because I was thinking it would be the type of situation where you do not get ammo unless you've placed a piece.
Well, that is the next point, right? So what happens is you do run out of bullets. And so you have to... The game will give you money when you put pieces on the board. And then you got to buy ammo. It's just a fucking waste of time, man. Just let me do the jigsaw puzzle. That's it's in the title. Pixel puzzles. Like, I just want to do the puzzle. And so after my first time, I finished the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really don't like this mechanic. And then there's a button at the bottom right on the main menu, and it's got a Z and then a stop sign, like a line through it, a big red line. I clicked on that. It's like, ta-da. You don't have to do that anymore.
You got rid of the only thing that makes this game a unique puzzle, like jigsaw puzzle game. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's like, why would I want to play that when I'm here to play a relaxing jigsaw puzzle, man?
That's not what this game is for. This is for the speed jigsaw puzzlers.
The danger puzzlers.
Exactly.
Well, then if that's a genre, then that should be a tag. I'll change one of my tags to danger puzzle. But yeah, it's an odd mechanic for a game. It's a really odd mechanic, because you're supposed to be looking for the fucking pieces and trying to put them on a jigsaw board. And if you've got zombies coming, that moves you away from that. So it's not like it's even fun. It's just, oh god, here comes another zombie. I was looking for a piece. Now I've got to go down and look at this asshole coming in and shoot him. And then I kill him. I don't get any reward for that. I get rewards from placing the jigsaw pieces. Mm-hmm. So I get nothing from this bottom part. So it's a chore. That's all it is. It's a chore.
How long did it take you to get through the first puzzle?
I finished... Oh, I didn't write it down. That would have been good. I think I finished 4 or 5 puzzles. So it's about in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that roughly? That's going to...
Let's say 10 minutes each.
10 minutes a puzzle.
Okay.
So, and that was a problem, because I kept on having to, because the bar for the screen recorder disappears on this one. It doesn't come out on top of it. It was behind, so I kept on having to tab out to see the time. I was like, oh, fuck, it's 48 minutes. So I kept on going. But to be fair, the puzzle, the artwork is great. Like the puzzles that you actually complete are really kind of cool. I like the artwork that they've done. It's quite dark, a little bit gory, and a little bit cartoony. There's one that I finished, which was a big no smoking sign, and it was a zombie smoking a cigarette, and basically he was inhaling it, and it was just coming out of his rib cage. So yeah, there's a lot of cool what do you call them, posters, I suppose, that you're doing. And the game is very forgiving for, you can toggle it on and off if you want to actually see the puzzle, and you can just basically put the bits on top of it, or you can have it off. Doing that, though, requires money in the shooty game one. So it costs you $10 to see the board kind of thing.
Okay. You
got to pay for it.
What, to see the finished picture?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So you can have a look at what you're supposed to be building towards.
You're paying for a hint, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I don't know, it was just boring. I'm not much of a jigsaw puzzle guy. It's just you find the bit, you put it in, you find the bit, you put it in, you find the bit, you put it in. You find the last bit, you put it in, ta-da.
What happens when you do get it? Are there stars on the screen or anything?
Nothing. Just, well done. Congratulations. Do the next one now, moron.
How is this game reviewed?
I think quite positive, because, I mean, the thing is, if you buy this game, you're buying this game because you like this game. You know, I don't think anyone buys a Jigsaw game going, I wonder if I like jigsaws. Like, everyone has tried a jigsaw in their life at some point, and I know I don't like jigsaws. I don't know why I have this game. I'm telling you, it was like a massive $1 for 7,000 of these, you know. But I get it. It's like, if you like this kind of game, I can see why it would be really relaxing. And it's like, it's not a traditional Jigsaw. It's like, there's another game that I got $1 for like 4 of them or 3 of them. There's another game called Glass Masquerade. I think you have it as well. It's a really interesting, like, what would you even say? Like a stained glass window, really weird pieces that you got to put in place.
That's the aesthetic. I've not actually played it. I think the first one at one point became free. So I think that's how we got it. It's still one that I want to try just because you said that it does look very beautiful.
Yeah.
And the store page makes it look very beautiful.
Yeah. And so I get it. And like, and I'm not going to lie. I did find it, once I turned off all that stupid zombie mechanics.
The thing that probably most people bought it for.
Yeah. Once I got rid of that and I could just focus on doing the puzzle, it was at least a little bit more relaxing. You can turn the music off. I just put my own music on in the background. It's the kind of thing that you could listen to a podcast and play. It's got an achievement for every picture you do, and so there's a fair few achievements in the game if you're into that. And yeah, and there's like the DLC store page. They're all quite cheap, and they've got a set of jigsaw puzzles for every taste. You know, so it's like, I get it. If you're a jigsaw person, then this is the game for you. So
who would you recommend this to?
Yeah, people that love jigsaw puzzles for a start. Like people who maybe want a challenge, I suppose, because like I said, it's not a traditional jigsaw. It's not a traditional jigsaw. All the pieces are really weirdly like look at this map that's on my table. They're all shaped like this. You know, they've got weird kind of shapes to them. It's like, and they've got like interlocking. Some of them have like teeth that interlock, and it's really, really bizarre shapes.
Nothing says good podcast like, look at this map on the table that no one else can see. It's basically geography, how different sections have broken apart.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that the well, as you said, the edges are really weird, sometimes like teeth, sometimes straight lines, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's teeth. I mean, I guess they've gone for a zombie theme, so some of them are like bone-shaped, you know, or some of them are teeth-shaped. I
like that. I appreciate that. I think as well, this is something that's much easier to do digitally than practically in an actual physical cardboard.
Oh, exactly. I mean, cutting these on a machine would be...
I don't think it would be nowadays, but it would probably be the laser cutting as opposed to the old school. Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely puzzle people. I mean, people who... I mean, I wouldn't recommend it as like to tower defense people. There's not enough to the bottom part going on. Zombies come in, you shoot them, and that's it. And you go back to the puzzle. There are grenades that you can buy. There are, I mean, across the top, off the top of my head, you can buy claymores, you can buy grenades, you can buy bullets, you can buy hints, and I think that was it.
Do you recommend this to people who are really into zombies?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe the artwork, you know, it's definitely worth a screenshot for each one that you've finished. And like I said, it's not like, some of them are cutesy zombie stuff, but some of them, like I said, are pretty guts out, gory, but still like almost like still kind of anime style of it. It's not like a movie style of it.
Would you recommend this one to me?
I think so. You've probably got this, or if you don't have this, Glass Masquerade or one of the other pixel puzzle games, because
I'm sure I've got jigsaw puzzles in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got Glass Masquerade 1. I don't think I have the sequel.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you would like something like this, especially if it's something where you could do one and then just switch it off. Like, I had to do it an hour, so I did 5 of them in a row, and that was a fucking torture, man.
Do you know how many there are total?
Yes, I counted them. There's 19 in the pack, so.
Oh, okay. So you are like 25% of the way through.
Yep. What are you looking at that for?
Because I'm wondering, with my next question, do you plan to go back?
God, no. And I don't want to go back to really any of these games. Like I said, if you like this kind of game, you go, you do you. Please don't make me play another one. Please don't make me play another one of these, because there is not just nothing more boring than doing a jigsaw puzzle for me.
Note to self, add a ton of jigsaw games to Darren's list. Good to know. I mean, the way to beat me to that is to play it for an hour before I can get to you, but then you already played it for the hour.
You've already tortured me with it anyway.
You may as well wait and do it for the podcast and do that for all of our enjoyment.
That'll be a real boring year where Darren plays pixel puzzle games for the entire 2023.
I only need 13 of them.
Yeah.
What tags would you give it?
All right, so surprisingly, they don't have the word jigsaw on their tags, which I find baffling because it's a jigsaw game.
And that is a Steam
They've got puzzle.
tag, isn't
They've
it?
got puzzle, but they don't have jigsaw. Go figure.
Steam doesn't have that.
They might have jigsaw, but it's not. This
But on
game
this
is not
store
tagged
page.
as jigsaw, like from their own tags.
I'm curious now. I'm assuming that it must be.
It has to be. I mean, yeah.
There are so many of them. If there isn't, then Steam needs to. But it must be there.
Yeah, but it's not. I checked on the even on the plus thing where you can look at all the tags that even other people have given it. Nothing. No jigsaw. Just puzzle. And it's like, yeah, it's a puzzle game, but it's not a puzzle game like Portal is a puzzle game. It's like, no. You got to be a bit more creative with your tags than just, it's a puzzle. So jigsaw puzzle. What did I say at the beginning that I wanted to remember that I've now forgot? I can't remember now. Anyway, jigsaw, casual, because it is, and I suppose relaxing. Like, it's like I said, you can do other things while you do it. So you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to your own music. You can.
Is there not music in the game?
There is, but it's rubbish.
So you can mute it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just switch that right off. Yeah, that would be it. Casual, jigsaw, relaxing.
Was this a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse?
Absolute remorse, yeah. I don't know why I even have this in my library.
Victory for me.
Yep.